Hello world, you can call me Moss, and today I'm drawing some creatures. Spring is officially here, where I am, and I wanted to start a garden. And one of my favorite vegetables is radishes. And it's pretty cool because I can grow radishes and I won't have to worry about anyone else eating them because everyone in my household thinks I'm weird for eating radishes. But you know what? More for me. And so I also have this little universe where there's these little guys that are kind of I can't even really explain it cuz like there's a ball of dirt. There's frogs, balls of like whatever material, whatever. And I'll probably be releasing another video, or maybe I've released it before this one. I don't know, but it includes another video of making creatures that are in that universe, and I'll probably be going more in depth in that video about whatever this is. But I was just thinking a lot about plants. I'm kind of going crazy over the idea of gardening. And I was like, well, what if I took some of the stuff I was growing and tried to make some little creatures from them? And so I was gonna do that. But then I was like, radishes, radishes, radishes. And the radishes just got to me, it seemed. Because I didn't draw anything else. Well, kind of. You'll see later. But most of it was based on the radishes. And so when I was buying seeds, there were like different kinds of radishes I could get, like the cherry bell, which I think is the one that you would find in like most American grocery stores. But there was like a radish blend packet. And it also had container variety on it. And I was like, well, I'll probably be growing things in containers, so I should probably get this one. And so it's a blend of a bunch of different radishes, including the cherry bell, and there's like this one that's black, and then there's like several that are white, and I'm just like, whoa. I've never seen radishes like these before. And so I think the white one that I had pulled up is the white icicle. And then the black one, I wish I had the seed packet on me. I'll put it up on screen once I actually remember what it's called. Um And then the one that's red and white is like a sparkler radish. But anyway, yeah, those are kind of cool. And so I was also thinking about moles, which is like completely unrelated to anything that's going on in this universe that I've made. I actually have Dungeons and Dragons characters and one's a druid, and I was like, I feel like he would like moles, but there's not an official mole stat block. So I have to think about that a little more. But I was still thinking about moles. And I was like, well, moles live in the ground and radishes grow in the ground. So, like, why not mash them together? And so that's kind of what I did. So, as I was making them, I was kind of thinking about, like, how would they actually fit into this universe? I didn't want their designs to be complicated because a lot of the ones that exist here are, I mean, like, my main little guy is a ball of soil with legs and a tail and a little face and a sprout coming out of him. It's like you can't get any simpler than that. So I didn't want it to be too complicated. And then I was thinking like, well, what if like radishes grow in the ground and then like their leaves come up like a lot of other root vegetables like carrots and potatoes. And so I was like, well, what if they sit in the ground and their tail's just popping out? And so I was, and I don't get really into it in like visually in the drawing process, or like I didn't really take any notes like I did with my other recording, but I was, I'm still thinking about this because I'm not really sure it makes any sense. I have to figure this out. And I was like, well, what if like their tails are sticking out of the ground so like they know when to come out? And so like there's all of these plants that are above ground and releasing pollen because that's just what they do in the spring. And so like what if the little holes could like catch on to that and it's like, I think there's enough plants producing pollen up here. I think there's flowers about. And I was like, well, what if they like eat flower petals? That's what they do. But then I was like, well, these are underground creatures. Why? Well, I don't know. I should probably actually do more research on moles. Moles are so silly looking. And voles. They're so tiny. And I don't remember when I actually tried in this recording, but I was like, okay, well, what if like there's a flower and it produces pollen or something, some kind of other like food source underground, or like maybe they actually just feed on the roots. I don't know. I still have to figure that out. But the idea here when I was drawing it was like, what if they produce like a cluster of pollen or some kind of other food that they would eat underground, and so like it's kind of like ready around the same time when other flowers are producing pollen, and so like they sense that there's all these plants producing and they're like, all right, it's go time. It's time for us to go searching out this plant that's producing our food. And I don't know, that was kind of my thought process. I don't know. Your video watching is interrupted by a drink water reminder. You might be dehydrated, or maybe you're not. Who knows? I don't discriminate. You should drink water. But then I was thinking, like, okay, wait, what if there's like other kinds of these creatures that aren't just based on radishes, but also like other plants that grow underground, like potatoes and carrots? And so I drew that little chunky guy, who's just a little guy. I'm actually trying to also think about like how big are these guys in comparison to other creatures, because the dirt ball creatures are not that big. And then there's the tree guys who will be in the other video, and like they're based on trees. They're gonna be tall, which all the drawings I did of like the tree guy and the dirt creature, besides like the one comic I made, which that video was kind of started based on, doesn't really put their size difference in actual perspective. But like they're tall, they're tall. So like I don't know, cause I don't think these fellas would be feasting on the flowers that grow out of the dirt creatures. That would be no, cause then they'll technically be like predators, and I don't want that. I don't. I mean, like maybe the little dirt creatures will have something that preys on them, but I don't want it to be these silly guys. So like I'm sure there's like flowers and plants that grow like outside of them. They eat those. So like they'll probably be bigger than the dirt creatures, but not bigger than the tree creatures. I think that would make more sense. Also, I've decided that like frogs are smaller than the dirt creatures because the dirt creature who is named Dirt, our main fella, has a frog companion who's kind of like a father figure and watches over him, is smaller than Dirt. Granted, there are like super tiny frogs. Oh my gosh. Oh, they're so silly. Wait, wouldn't that mean that there are like, oh, would there be giant frogs here? Okay, I actually think that would be cool. I'm gonna have to draw these some of these days. But yeah, at some point I did start like coloring all of my doodles. All of my doodles. But yeah, at some point I started like coloring all of my doodles. And I don't know how I feel about like the one that's based on the white radish. I don't like it. Maybe if I'd made the off-white not red tinted. I don't know. Either way, I don't know. It's not my favorite. But anyway, I'm very excited about this gardening thing. I planted a bunch of seeds. I actually just planted some radish yesterday, and I looked in my window and I think it's lettuce because I didn't actually label them yet, but I'm pretty sure it's lettuce has started like sprouting. There's like three little sprouts in there. So that's really exciting. I'm waiting for everything else to sprout. Or at least I don't know, maybe they won't sprout. But we'll see. Trial and error and all that. But I ended up planting some lettuce. I don't remember what kind of lettuce it is. It's not iceberg and it's not romaine or like any of like I don't know. I'll have to look at the package later. Maybe I'll also put that up on screen. Maybe. Um, lettuce, onion, basil, spinach, bell peppers, cayenne peppers, um, big red cherry tomatoes, and beefsteak tomatoes. And I'm not sure how many I just named because I know there's eight. So I don't know if I hit the mark yet or not. I might be forgetting something. And then I was like, I want more seeds. So I went back to the store and got more seeds. So I got the radish seeds, marigolds, because I heard they're good to plant with tomatoes, keeping pests away and all that. I did get some iceberg lettuce because it was there. And I really want lettuce and I really want salad. I love salad. Um, I named three things. There's one more. I know there's one more. And I really want to grow some arugula, but they didn't have any seeds where I went, so I have to look elsewhere. But yeah, I hope all that goes well. But anyway, this was really fun to draw. Maybe you'll join me for some more silly little drawings of creatures. Who knows? But I hope you enjoyed your time here. And I hope you remember that you are loved and to stay hydrated. No raisins here. All right. Bye bye.